Hi everyone, welcome back to Time Teller Diaries. Today I'm really excited to talk about a watch that's been part of my personal collection for quite a while. That's right, here is the Citizen Echo Drive Skyhawk C650. I believe the reference number is Q02098. And from the looks, it's just not a watch. It's sort of a mini cockpit on your wrist. And this has been quite a journey with this watch. I've had this watch for what now, 23 years. I purchased this watch in I think about 2002, so 2 decades at least. This watch has held phenomenally well. So just to kind of give you side comparison, this is the Skyhawk Blue Angels, that I had reviewed, and this is the Skyhawk, the vintage one, which I'm reviewing today. So you tell me which one looks better. Now, this model hails from Citizen's legendary Skyhawk series. Obviously, this I believe is what started it all. Designed with aviators in mind, but equally loved by desk pilots and watch nerds like us. So the movement was quite the breakthrough in its time, which combines Citizen's legendary Echo Drive, which is the solar technology, with a full-featured pilot's chronograph and world time functionality, which has been beautifully designed in the digital display and analog, dials and hands, which goes so well. Released in early 2000s, this Skyhawk bridges analog aviation aesthetics and digital precision and is still holding up beautifully today. And that was the draw that really made me purchase this watch, even though it had just been introduced in the early 2000s. I just had to have it. So let's look at its dimensions and some metrics. So even though it looks quite bulky and heavy, it really is not. It kind of just, let's see if I can get it weighed. So it is, let me just set it again. There you go. So it is right around 154 grams. And as far as dimensions, it is about 44 millimeters. And from the top, bulge is right around 39 mm. And if you were to replace this beautiful steel bracelet with a leather one, you might want to get an 18 or 19 mm or 18 mm, thereabout would be a fit. But I've left it to a steel bracelet, which looks quite beautiful and hasn't scratched at all. And the back here is with the Citizen insignia with all the details about the model and the watch. Now, talking about the features on the watch, so it does have the world time. You can see that I've managed to scratch this watch at, when I would take it out on outdoor activities, because it is not sapphire crystal, it is mineral glass, and that's why it's scratched here. So it does have the world time, and let's say if I were to move it from London to, let's say, some other city, Chicago, and I were to press these two buttons, so you can see that the time is being set automatically now to the Chicago time. And then you can interchange. So on the hands, it's showing Chicago time, and on the digital display, it has the New York time. You have these bars which indicate the charge that the watch has. Now, the manual did say that you need to keep this watch for about 4 to 5 hours every 6 months, or every couple of months, to get it a full charge so that it can run as it should. Now I made a mistake of, since that was my first Echo drive, I made a mistake of keeping this locked up for maybe 2 years, 1.5, 2 years. But even after that, the first time I put it in the sunlight after 7 or 8 hours of charge, it worked. But then I again made the mistake of leaving it outside in a box or something, and it had completely drained. Even though it did charge, it would not pick up all the features, so I ended up replacing the capacitor, which is like a lithium battery, if you can put it that way, and that is quite easily replaced by opening the backside. I just didn't want to go through the hassle of sending it to Citizen. It's quite easy to replace, even though it was quite a charge, but the capacitor was well worth the replacement, because now the watch is working perfectly fine after the replacement. Now you have the calendar, so you can see that it's showing Thursday, July 24th. And then you got these 3 alarms that you can set. So this is set to 6 a.m. Then you can have another alarm, alarm 2, and then alarm 3. You also have the chronograph feature, which works beautifully. So you see that? There you go. You can reset as well. And then you also have a timer in case you want to have a countdown. I've set it to 10 minutes, this 10M here. You can change it to whatever time you like. It's not that difficult to set all these features. And then you also have a feature to set the city name, or also, for example, if you did not want NYC, but you were in that time zone and wanted to customize the city name, you could do it by this feature, the set. You also have this little dial here that shows you in the 24-hour time where we are right now. So obviously it's it's 2 p.m. and the time here is 12 plus 2, and then obviously 24 means the entire day. This is the UTC time, which is pretty much a feature that the pilots really like, because I was informed that whenever pilots are flying internationally, they have to set their timing and reports based on UTC time. So this turns out to be a great feature for pilots. The bezel is again with these measurement scales that you can use to read some charts. Aviators obviously would love that. That is something that would be useful for aviators. I have not personally used it. I've never learned it. Maybe one of these days I should. And it's still held up really beautifully, except for the scratches that I've managed to put on this beautiful watch otherwise. So what are the cons, like the negatives? Obviously this is a watch that's got a lot going for it. What are the negatives here? So digital screen are a bit dim. If you were to take this out in the bright sun, then you really have to kind of see what the digital screens are displaying. The initial setup is a little bit cumbersome. You do have to have patience to set it up the first time. Now once you've done it, then it automatically would move, obviously, as long as you've charged it, you've not let it drain. Otherwise you'll have to get it all set up again. Now, like I said, one feature that I wish there was a sapphire crystal. I didn't realize this has mineral crystal, and I haven't not taken uh, you know, the opportunity to get it replaced because I do use this watch, but not a whole lot. And it's now 23 years old. And if I were to send it to Citizen, obviously it's going to be quite a charge. Could be more than the watch's worth today itself, because this watch is discontinued. You don't get this watch anymore. New from Citizen. Now you can get this watch in aftermarket. So one of these days, probably what I'll do is I'll purchase one of the non-functional Skyhawk, aftermarket, and get the glass of that watch used up to replace this watch from a watchmaker. Now, honestly, those are minor drawbacks. I've loved this watch. It's probably given me worth several times over my initial investment, which was quite a bit, because at that time this series had just launched and it was pretty expensive back then. So if you're a fan of tool watches, aviation, or just want a piece of aviation history on your wrist, the Citizen Skyhawk C650 deserves a look. It's reliable, bold, and full of character. So if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the Time Teller Diaries, and let me know how I'm doing. Comment. And if you own any of the Skyhawk, do let me know. Put it in the comment box. What's your favorite Citizen Echo Drive model? Do comment on that. So till the next time, keep ticking. Bye-bye.